This is Gene Krebs.
Hi there. Oh. Whoop. Whoosh.
And we're high on Ohio.
You were the first, if I remember correctly, first elected woman judge in Franklin County?
Yes, that wasn't that long ago. It was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But no, there were 6 of us elected at the same time. I was the first woman elected, and it was a challenge because it was very much a man's world when I started, and a lot of the old boys club stuff, and I just tried to do the best job I could. 10 or 15% of the most seriously mentally ill consume about 70% of those resources.
Whoa,
in all the systems.
Can you say that again?
About 10 to 15% of the most seriously mentally ill consume about 70% of the resources because they're picked up, they take shelter space, they take emergency room space. Taking care of somebody in a supportive housing environment where you support them with housing costs us about $50 a day. $30 a day. A jail or prison bed costs about $60 to $80 a day. A hospital bed costs $1,500 a day. So when they're picked up and put into a hospital for 2 or 3 days, you can imagine, you can keep them for a long time in a supportive housing. We got to get them shelter, because if we don't, they're going to end up back under the bridge. Doesn't matter how much mental health treatment we give them. And they treat it as a team, and they support this person with what they need to succeed. And it's not a soft on crime, it's a smart on crime, because they have to be in this program for usually 2 years, whereas they could serve their 3 weeks, be out back on the street. If you were willing to put a lot more money into treatment, then that treatment, getting to people before they reach crisis, before they commit a crime, before they end up homeless, before they're picked up and put in very expensive hospitals, if you could devote a lot more resources to prevention and dealing with the mental illness before it gets to the crisis proportion, all those other budgets go down. We have a population of about 51,000 right now. About 30,000 of the 51,000 are low-level offenses that are in there for 1 year or less. So we are churning 30,000 prisoners who are in there too short to get treatment, too short to get programming, too short to get any real assistance. We churn them back out, put them back in the community with no supports. If we reinvest that money, it costs $25,000 a year for one person. If we reinvest that money that we were spending on them, housing them in a prison, into community resources, then you've got taxpayers, they're paying taxes, child support, they're doing community service. It is a much more positive return. I like to try to explain to people why I left the Supreme Court so that I can work on these issues more fully, because that was kind of a shock to people, because I could have been a justice for many more years. But it was something that meant a lot to me, and when you look at my missionary background, it kind of informs why I'm doing this.